Hello, welcome to Sly 2, the second channel of the much more polished and much more cleanly edited Sly Boy channel. I look like I'm 3 feet tall right now. Hold on. If you are one of those freaks who somehow came across this channel organically and did not come from Sly Boy, the context here is that I made a series of expose videos that escalated gradually into a pretty extensive beef with a certain pedophile on my main channel. A content creator by the name of Chud Logic, who I was not super familiar with, but I had heard his name before, made a stream pretty harshly criticizing my coverage of this situation. I did a stream reacting to it. I thought I would put together some of my comments here. Ultimately, I think Chud and I have an intellectual disagreement, and I think his arguments in this stream were pretty dumb.
Drama that's been developing with someone called Sly Boy, okay?
That's me.
Now, I don't want to just endlessly refer to previous dramas that I've covered, but this is probably the closest thing that I've seen to like a MamaMax X situation.
Come on, man.
And the best way to explain this is for me to just show you the thumbnail for this video that Sly Boy put out, okay? The company in this thumbnail supports rape.
Fact check, true.
The company in this thumbnail supports rape.
I'm going to see what he gets into. I think some people, I think I've gotten better at like positioning my videos in the best possible way to draw attention. And I've gotten a couple people here and there saying I'm clickbaiting, which I absolutely refute that notion. Generally speaking, when it comes to my channel. When it comes to the company in this thumbnail supports rape, you could call me clickbaiting if you were trying to say my claim is that there's like some office in Silicon Valley of all these Google execs being like, yes, let's get more people raped, right? Like that's obviously not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is functionally they're supporting rape. If they're just allowing this person who's open about their intention to have relations with children to continue on and to remove anyone criticizing them for that or exposing them for that. Like that's functionally what's happening, especially when I'm like not breaking any sort of TOS or anything at all. They're just like removing my ability to have like victims share their stories and stuff. Maybe that's his point. Maybe it's not a Chud Logic here, but I'm curious to see what he has to say.
And it's fucking YouTube. Now, this video is back up, so maybe I watch this. Maybe I give this a watch. I've watched it earlier, but I watched it on Kick. Because I was like, oh, it's banned on YouTube. Maybe it will fuck my channel up. But if it's back up, I think we can probably watch it. Is it the same length, 28-29? Okay, well let's watch this first, and we can see what his arguments are. Okay.
I missed it when he said it right here and didn't realize it until much later in this stream, but he hadn't even seen the video he was complaining about, the YouTube supports rape video. So he kind of had already formed his opinion that I was the second coming of MamaMax based off of a video that he had not seen, which I think is really dumb.
The long story short on this, okay, is that this guy Sly Boy has gotten into an extended ongoing beef with a pedophile. And not just like, you know, an actual full-blown pedophile, as far as I can understand.
Yep.
Okay? So this person that they're talking about is a self-proclaimed map, and there's information that suggests that they've been grooming, essentially, to put it simply.
I mean, that's the least of it.
As a result of this beef, Sly Boy's videos have been targeted by this pedo, essentially. And it's meant that the videos have been taken down. And now he's claiming that YouTube supports rape.
Correct.
Which presumably is as a result of them taking his videos down because of TOS reasons. But we'll get into it. You'll understand as we go through it. In fact, let's watch this first. So we've got the setup here.
Which, by the way, it's not TOS because the videos are back up. So that's YouTube officially saying that I didn't break TOS. And the videos only went back up after this company supports rape video went viral. I don't know. You connect the dots.
So Sly Boy is claiming that YouTube
because I had
supports rape.
And for context as well, I had already appealed the videos that got taken down. One of them went back up, which was Groomed at 14 by Katie Cruz. But the rest of them, my appeals were rejected. The This Company Supports Rape video went viral. People retweeted it a bunch. And then all of a sudden they emailed me and they're like, hey, we took a look at those videos again. And actually, you know, you're good.
Now we're going to watch the video together. And I want you to see if there's anything that you think about this video as we watch it, okay? We did watch this earlier. So if you were with me on Kick early, you've already have seen this. The Predator in this video got YouTube to remove the original version. The video has been updated with additional censorship. And then this is called YouTube Protects Predators. So they're saying that YouTube loves rape and protects predators.
He is a Kick streamer, apparently, yeah.
Okay, so we are getting much more into MamaMax territory then.
Why? Because I had a little drone in the background? That really upsets me that the MamaMax comparison. What's the comparison? Or is it just like the non-controversial side of MamaMax that he's comparing me to? Just the fact that I'm like making a video about a predator. I don't understand that. I just feel like that comes with such a negative connotation.
So what editing did he do, I wonder?
The edits I did was I just blurred out the pedophile's face on the life-size picture that I printed out. But I will note, what he's watching right now is the censored version of that video, which I released after the original version was removed. And the original version was one of the videos that YouTube changed their tune on after the YouTube Supports Rape video, you know, got passed around Twitter. So, and that was when they had rejected my appeal. So officially, the original version of this video, which is not the one he's watching, did not break TOS, but was still taken down and is now back up.
This YouTuber exposed a predator and now his life is in danger.
Well guys, today's about to be pretty insane. Today we're talking about a situation with a YouTuber named Sly Boy.
This is Sly Boy.
Okay, I think we've got the original video somewhere here.
Oh, he's going to the original?
So let me have a quick look to see what the difference is. So what is the actual time difference between these two? This one's 28:20 and this one's 28:28, but the intro was 30 seconds long.
This is not really super important. The difference is I added the new intro saying YouTube protects predators. I blurred the sign and then I removed the sponsorship, which the sponsor didn't pull out. They did come back and say, hey, this situation's a little too sensitive for us, but you know, we're still going to pay you and we still want to keep working with you. So they were really chill about it, but it was just a little too much heat, I think, for them. So I pulled the sponsorship inclusion on the re-upload. So those are the only differences.
Who is being threatened right now.
Pretty recently I found this
And then I think I included a little thing at the very end of the censored version. Just
You see, he exposed this
updating
content
people and
creator who
stuff.
literally has a blog of them trying to get with a 7-year-old, and that is the least worst thing they have done.
He decided to make a video about this person, Katie Cruz,
Katie Cruz.
Who, get this, actually promotes being a predator.
who is in support
Rabbit Gene, people that protect predators must be predators. It's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, if you're talking about Chud Logic, then I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I want to see what his criticisms of me are. I think like people who are like, I don't know, a lot of people are going to naturally just like assume the worst intentions of YouTubers. So there are some people who are like, you're just doing this for money. You don't care about victims. You're clickbaity. You're opportunistic. I disagree with all of those, obviously. But, you know, that having some like dumb internet brained critique of like what I was doing in this video isn't like the same as being a predator. Like you know, people have reasons for thinking things, even if they're wrong. It's not like I'm not trying to say if you disagree with what I'm doing, you're a predator.
of what is called...
And I don't know. I have no idea what Chud Logic's viewpoint is, so I'm curious to see what that is.
Well, the thing is, I make a distinction between this guy and MamaMax because this person, like Sly Boy, clearly is going after someone that is a pedo.
Thank
and
you.
They're real and they're true, and there's people speaking about it.
Then why'd you call me MamaMax in the first place? Maybe he didn't mean it in like in a derogatory sense, but MamaMax is such a like that's such a loaded comparison.
So I think that part is true. And I don't know if this guy has got quite the same level of like malicious, aggressive thought process as MamaMax did.
What do you mean
that's
quite the
wonderful.
same level of? Like what? How do I have a level of malicious thought process whatsoever? I just feel like he's automatically like lumping me in. Maybe he has a, does he have a prior video on me or something where he like had already come to a conclusion about like me or something? This guy is the new MamaMax is the title of the video.
So
Chud, change the title of your video, man. Unless if you like want to make that comparison with your full chest. But even so far in the video, it sounds like you're not even. You're kind of just like halfway making that comparison. I just don't like that. I take offense to that. I mean, it's whatever. I don't care.
I think that this narrative that YouTube protects predators or YouTube loves rape is absurd, and I just flatly contest this on every ground, because why on earth would a massive conglomerate company want to take any action that would be like defending a pedo? This is all
I don't know. I can just tell you what happened to my channel. I appealed over and over and over. YouTube themselves tells me the appeal goes to a real person, which it doesn't. I don't think it does. But that's what YouTube says. He's taking this in the most cartoonish way, which is that I'm saying that there's like a pedo ring cartel in the YouTube leadership that's like, yes, we want that random loser pedophile from Indiana to get away with it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying functionally they're supporting rape because they're allowing this person to just fully abuse the privacy complaint and copyright takedown system to get all exposés and criticism of them just evaporated from the internet with major creators. Not just me. Gone Fishing is a creator with, I think, like 100,000 subscribers. Decent-sized channels, all like warning people about this person, and YouTube is taking it down. So functionally, that's what they're doing. There's probably not like a fucking top-down committee being like, yes, we want Katie Cruz to get with children. Absolutely not my argument at all.
their TOS, protecting their platform in regards to advertisers, and also in regards to controversy. So they don't want to do something or have something happen that is linked to a YouTuber that brings unnecessary or excessive controversy towards their platform.
I definitely understand that. But the point is that there's not like a clear TOS that they can point me to with the takedowns. And as said before, like the second that I was about to call it the rape video offhanded, and that sounds really, really bad. The second that this YouTube sports rape video, you know, went around, they were like, "Oh no, Sly Boy, like you're totally good. Appreciate you, brother." Yeah, I'm definitely not dogging on YouTube for Sly. These people don't like you because you come out spitting facts and they want the run of the attention using your name. You made it. I don't know. I definitely don't want to just like be like, no, fuck all these guys, because I get what they're saying. I just disagree. People are saying they think Chud Logic is just purely a rage bait account. I don't want to ride him off. Like if someone has criticism of me, I want to like view it for what it is. Yeah, I'm not trying to like label him as anything necessarily. Videos about this individual. Oh, Andrew, thanks for the $2. Appreciate you. Love the vids, brother. Thanks for being goated. Thank you for being goated, Andrew. Appreciate you.
Most of those videos have been taken down. Some are currently up on the channel. This channel has been plagued by Katie Cruz and her goon squad with bullshit privacy complaints and mass reporting campaigns.
So one thing I will say is that I do think that this pedo has absolutely been engaged in some campaign against this guy. And there was another video that we watched, and it seemed like they'd released a video themselves taking credit for getting the videos taken down.
They've made numerous statements, yeah.
Yes, the person, the nonce that you're making content about is absolutely attacking
the
your
nonce.
channel. That's true.
I like that.
And I would even say that there's some videos that I would question YouTube's reasoning for taking the videos down. And it does seem like YouTube are acting with excess, or they're acting, you know, in response, I guess, to privacy complaints or something, and are probably erroneously taking videos down. So this guy definitely has got a cause to have issue with some of the things that have happened.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Out. So this was uncensored in the original video.
Correct.
This is uncensored in the original video. So I'm guessing that YouTube took issue with the fact that they were showing, even though they're a nonce, They're taking issue with the fact that they're showing an uncensored picture of this.
YouTube didn't really take issue with anything. Saying YouTube took issue with this or YouTube took issue with that is kind of missing the point. Like, YouTube is not really paying attention. And again, if YouTube were honest and they were just like, yeah, we have just like some AI bullshit that like decides who lives and who dies on the platform, then fucking whatever. Those are the rules we got to play by. But YouTube says they have, you know, a moderation team that looks into this. My video originally was getting just like mass flagged. Originally Katie Cruz was hitting me with mass flagging campaigns for child endangerment. And then I was able eventually to get those back up. And at that point, they switched to privacy complaints. You know, I see how he's saying like, oh, look, man, it's just like a big giant system and, you know, them's the breaks. Well, okay. If YouTube were being honest about the fact that that's what it is, I mean, whatever. Like, that would be a little more fair. It'd be, you know, still pretty lame as someone who like makes money for the platform to be treated that way. But, you know, it'd be like, whatever. You know, they're being straight up, but they're not being straight up with me.
I'm guessing.
And also just like functionally, this system that they have allows this person to get any sort of exposés on them removed from the platform, not just by me, but by other creators as well. Creators who are bigger than me.
Isn't like a public figure or something.
And
right?
also be arriving with a life-size picture of Katie.
So this is the other thing
to
too.
Her hometown and telling all of her neighbors, myself, exactly how horrible of a person.
So this is the other problem that I've got with this video as well. Not in terms of like complaining that YouTube are taking it down, right?
Okay.
There was a story recently where two YouTubers got into like a beef over copyright and they met in real life and some people ended up getting shot to bits. So if I'm YouTube, I would probably be quite sensitive to the idea that a YouTuber is going to someone else's hometown like this. You know, it's like, even though they're a nonce, and we all know that pedophiles are terrible, we all agree, right? We all agree, don't we, guys? Pedophiles are terrible. I think from YouTube's perspective, they probably don't want you necessarily going to their hometown to make content about it, particularly when you got like a big picture of them to fucking...
Well, if YouTube had responded to my appeals and allowed me to properly abide by TOS, then I wouldn't have had to go to the hometown. The ultimatum on me going to the hometown was that if my content fed got taken down, I would go. So I went. And the content fed also abided by TOS. So also I like repeatedly disavowed any sort of violence towards this person. This person being Katie Cruz.
It's like, you know, you can imagine someone being a bit like, oh, this is a bit fucking rich for my blood.
She says, people in the comments of Sly Boy's latest video are encouraging him to...
So by the way, that comment that he just read out, that was in response to him saying, I'm strapped, essentially.
Okay.
So someone had said something about concerns about the fence, and he had said something like, I'm strapped, which means I carry a weapon on me, right? So aspects of this I'm looking at and I'm thinking, you know, there seems to be like a sort of escalatory kind of somewhat violent kind of rhetoric, right? Where it's like...
He's not saying from me,
they're
is he?
talking about, is this a road...
He's not saying there's... I'm escalating the violent rhetoric. I hope he's not saying that.
There seems to be like a sort of escalatory kind of somewhat violent kind of rhetoric, right? Where it's like, you're talking about having a gun, they're talking about, is this a road you want to go down? It's starting to get, you know, it starts to get very kind of like complicated from a moderation perspective. And you start to think, if you're YouTube, do you genuinely want this guy going to this person's hometown with a massive picture of them talking about being strapped?
Well, that's not really fucking up to them. I understand, Chud, you wouldn't understand this because you live in Britain. But this is a free country, so I can go where I want and do what I want if I'm within the law. I'm glad he gave the context. I appreciate that. But to be clear on the context, someone just said, hey, this Katie Cruz seems really unhinged. If you go to her hometown, make sure like you're able to defend yourself in case she like goes crazy on you. And I just said, yeah, I'm always strapped. But clearly the context of that is not like me saying like, oh, I'm gonna hurt somebody. Clearly the context of that is me saying, yeah, I'm an American. I carry a gun for self-defense. I can carry a concealed weapon. You wouldn't know it's there unless if you attacked me. Her response is clearly like, yeah, we're gonna get into a shootout.
It's
right?
like this.
So that's her very strongly implying that she's going to initiate violence.
Escalation, I think, is probably
So the escalation is one-sided.
going to make YouTube nervous, you know, especially when the story's blown up and lots of people are talking about it. So I just think that, you know, Sly Boy. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think of this as like, oh my god, this is as bad as MamaMax. I think MamaMax, in terms of his conduct and the way he behaved, was worse. But the actual mechanics of this and the particulars of this, I think of the capacity to be more dangerous, because you got this guy talking about going to this person's hometown with a gun, right? Yeah, I do think he's milking it. He is absolutely milking it. Of course he is.
How am I milking it?
Who wouldn't? Of course, he's incentivized to milk it, right? But I just think there's aspects here that I'm understanding as to why YouTube...
I'm no more milking this than you're milking me. I mean, like, you're making a video criticizing me after I've blown up. You know, my milking this was getting in my fucking car, driving 300 miles, right? That took a decent amount more effort than what you're doing. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be doing this. Like I welcome criticism as well. That's totally fine. I'm just saying I feel like it's a little unfair to say I'm milking it. I also feel like I appreciate that he clarified the MamaMax thing, but I feel like saying I'm the new MamaMax, this my perspective. Saying I'm the new MamaMax is more of a YouTube-brained, clickbaity thing than me saying YouTube supports rape because they've repeatedly followed a pedophile's bidding to get videos warning people about them taken down. I think both are fine. I think if he wants to call me, if he wants to make like a MamaMax comparison, you know, I disagree with that because I think MamaMax, you know, you hear that and you just immediately think something negative. And so I like have reservations about that comparison. He is deeper in the video kind of distinguishing it a little bit more, which I appreciate. But yeah, I just disagree.
Issue with this.
Ultimately.
It's like you're moving a bit fucking erratic here. You're like talking about going down there, talking about being strapped. You've printed out a big picture of this trans pedo. Like, dude, we're getting a little bit fucking spicy, okay? Maybe we need to bring the temperature down a little bit.
Again, like the only reason we're here is because both Katie Cruz and YouTube itself were relentless in taking my videos down. So it was genuinely either this or I just like tuck my tail between my legs and walk away and just be like, I guess I can't make videos about this person. You know?
You know, assuming you want to stay within YouTube's TOS.
And I will reiterate, I am within YouTube's TOS as per YouTube's word themselves, because they've put all the videos back up.
To follow through with coming to my town. Someone told him to carry a gun because I would likely have one. He said he'll be carrying. This might turn into a bloodbath, but I'm not going to capitulate to a bullet.
Right.
I don't negotiate with terrorists. I'm not giving in. I won't back down. If I die a little earlier, then I was
But why is
already
he...
on court.
Sorry, I've been pausing it a lot. Why is he chortling at that like, yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath. You shouldn't be going there. I'm a fucking American. I can go anywhere I want. I can say whatever I want. Like, it's kind of a British-ass take, all right? I've been like... I do have a little bit of an ongoing bit where I think it's funny to be openly xenophobic towards British people. I do think that is a little bit of funny just on some American shit, but you know, obviously I'm joking. But you know, I should be well within my rights to do that. Just because someone else is escalating the situation doesn't mean that I don't have that's a double negative. I still have the right to go wherever I want and say whatever I want.
To do, well, such is life. Now, mind you, the context of the comment thread this was on was me simply stating, I carry a gun for self-defense. Nowhere in any of my videos have I encouraged or espoused violence towards this individual.
Also, I feel like this isn't quite right from him.
Why is that?
It's like he said, I'm strapped, or something like that, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, I carry a gun solely for self-defense. It's like, you said you were strapped.
Fucking British-ass take. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to... Like, the I hate British people is purely a bit, I promise. But that is a very British take. Because he did include context before. Maybe he's forgetting some of the context of that thread that it was on. It's not like I just said, I'm strapped out of the blue. It was specifically in response to someone saying, hey, this person seems really unhinged. I'm scared they might do something violent. So just make sure that you're able to defend yourself. You know, stay strapped, right? And I just said, I'm always strapped. Because I am. That's a factual statement. I went to the grocery store today. I was strapped. All right?
Saying you're strapped, I think, has got a more aggressive tone than saying that you've got a gun for self-defense. It's like,
I'm not going to comment on YouTube.com. Yes, sir, I carry a gun for self-defense. I'm not a fucking nerd, all right? I'm strapped for self-defense. I'm not a gangbanger. There was nothing gangster about it whatsoever.
I stay strapped. It's common parlance, but it's like
I got the strap on.
One's willingness to conduct violence
yeah.
and just saying, I've got a gun solely for self-defense. Do you see what I mean? It's the implication, exactly. You know?
The implication was self-defense, and that implication was contained in the comment I was responding to, which was encouraging me to stay strapped specifically for self-defense.
Yeah, but he, I mean, it's a trans nonce, whatever you want to say about them, are saying that in response to saying, I'm strapped. The point is, it's escalatory. It's escalatory. All of this is escalatory. Escalating, right?
One-sided.
And I think that all of this is like, it's one thing affecting the other, and it's just increasing in kind of like speed and tone. It's like, I'm not saying this guy is saying he's going to go down and shoot them. That's extreme. But all of this is serving this purpose of just escalating the situation to the point where, and bear in mind, it's not about whether or not he's like ethically or morally right to do this.
This is a comment thread in which Katie Cruz was not involved until she responded to that comment, always strapped, right? It's not like she was in the comments being like, oh, you want to get on me or whatever. And then I was like, oh, bitch, I'm always strapped, right? Like someone was like, hey, just be careful, brother. Like, stay strapped. And I was like, yeah, I'm always strapped, right? And then she commented, we're both going to die, basically. So the escalation is only happening from one angle. It's more so about,
is it reasonable to claim that YouTube support rape because they've decided to take this video down? And based on everything that I'm seeing, I'm saying, no, I don't think that's reasonable, because I think it's far more likely that YouTube are taking a look at this and thinking there's an escalating level of rhetoric between these two people, and there's talk of going to the hometown. He goes to the hometown. He's got this big picture printed off of the person.
My American rights.
That's
all my God-given American rights. I genuinely do think the national divide here is ultimately the disagreement area. I have the right to go wherever I want and say whatever the fuck I want. And he's saying he just thinks it's like too... I guess if I get fucking killed in Indiana, that's bad for YouTube's bottom line, so I shouldn't do it. Which I disagree with. But so overall, so far from what I'm seeing of Chud Logic, I pretty strongly disagree, but I don't think... I don't even think he's like coming at this just to be contrarian and get views off of that. Or I believe these are his actual thoughts. I just disagree. So, a lot of people saying he's just like trying to rage bait and stuff like that. I don't think that's the case. I think he just like has a different view of it, which I disagree with. But I appreciate him giving his thoughts.
It went from one video to him doxing her, going to her hometown with a billboard of her face, going to see her family. And
I did not dox Katie Cruz. I've seen a couple people say that, as in like I did something wrong or bad by doxing Katie Cruz. Other people have doxed Katie Cruz. There's even an argument to be said that Katie Cruz doxed themselves because they kind of let some information slip in their anger as they like tried to go after me. But I did not dox Katie Cruz. Callie Miller is a public person. They have like public profiles. Until recently, they had like multiple projects that they were advertising with their face on it. My doxing Katie Cruz as Callie Miller was playing audio from a podcast in which Katie Cruz admitted to be Callie Miller. You can't like be like, yeah, I'm Callie Miller, and I'm like, here's this podcast where they say they are that person, and be like, he doxed me, right? Like, you're a public person at that point.
Went from one video to him doxing her, going to her hometown with a billboard of her face, going to see her family, and bringing a gun to a person that has nothing to lose. What could go wrong? Exactly.
That's not... I mean, yes, exactly. And that's why people clicked on the fucking video, because it's a crazy situation. But also, that's not my fault that I'm going up against like a potentially homicidal maniac. That's like... What is that? That's like almost like pre-victim blaming. Like, oh, this person's insane and might kill you. How dare you still exercise your free speech? I don't know. That doesn't stand to me. That doesn't stand
exactly.
to me. I was just reading one of your comments. In any other fucking instance, like Katie being a famous person, for instance, and them saying my name is actually blah, 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 it would be on the news the next day. But if you share it, it's doxing. Yeah, also, it's like, I don't know. Would you go to Chris Hansen, because he's been doing this for decades, and they just grab someone who's not even an internet personality. They just grab a rando and are like, oh, here's your face and at least first name for millions of people to see, far more people than I've reached with the Katie Cruz nonsense. Is that what we gonna come after him now for, like, oh, you doxed that person who was trying to meet up with the 4-year-old? Like, you shouldn't be able to post on YouTube anymore. Emotion
will override logic, as gay as that is to say. But people will just be totally emotive about this and will just be like, wood chipper, wood chipper, wood chipper. But they won't take a step back and think, okay, let's just
what
think
about the
this for a second.
pedophile's feelings? Did you guys ever think about that? All right, I'm sorry. That's a straw man. That was just a joke. I'm not trying to say he's actually saying
wood chipper, wood chipper. But they won't take a step back and think, okay, let's just think about this for a second. What other possible reasons could YouTube have to take this video down that isn't to do with them just loving rape? Like, I think there's probably enough.
Yeah, so he's just like not understanding the point of the YouTube supports rape video. Maybe I could have clarified that more. I just felt like most people would have the nuance to understand I'm not literally saying that YouTube is like, ooh, how can we maximize our rape numbers? Our rape those were some rookie rape numbers. We need to pump those up. How can we allow more rape to happen in the world? I'm just saying that their like shitty ass appeal process and nearly non-existent moderation process allows for this person to abuse the system and further their open journey and aspiration to get with a 7-year-old child. People from Shelbyville messaged me and were like, hey, we saw the video, because not Thanksgiving, but I believe, if I remember correctly, Halloween happened shortly after the video came out, if I'm remembering correctly. And I believe I remember people were messaging me being like, hey, like, we like figured out where that person's house was. Not from me, mind you. I never said where their house was, but people looked into it further on their own time and were able to find it. And people also like know this person in town. So people locally were like passing it around and were like, hey, we like had our kids like avoid that whole block because of your video, right? Like, that's a proactive step, right? And I'm saying functionally how YouTube operates is like preventing good things like that from taking place. Quentley, appreciate the $5. Chud Logic, you mean the guy who bootlicked every community Moist Critical been a part of and then got butthurt when they shunned him? This guy? I don't know. I can neither affirm nor deny those allegations towards Chud. It's weird because like I've definitely heard that name before, but I haven't personally watched his content before just now.
That we could make a reasonable view that YouTube have got other concerns beyond just, we want to defend the nonce, we want to defend rape. And that's the issue. That's the part that's similar to MamaMax. It's, you know, what's the reasonable view here? Not just the emotional view on the basis of feeding a nonce feet first into a wood chipper.
But it's not an emotional view. Like, those people having their kids avoid that person's house on Halloween is a objective net good on the planet, right? Me being able to interview Lucy's mom and have her share her story is a net positive good objectively on the planet. Me being able to interview Michaela, another video that was originally taken down, which is now back up, the person that Katie tried to groom at 14, is a net positive good on the planet. These aren't like emotional, objective, circle jerk, like internet things. These are real world consequences that are good, right? Like that's the opposite of like what he's describing right now.
Children. For instance, I'm in a park right now. It's a very lovely park. It comes complete with 2 different baseball fields. You may be able to hear their children playing behind me. There's a playground. Oh, and it is, hold on, let me double check the address. A 14-minute walk from home. One thing I've observed about Shelbyville.
He stood in this field talking about how far away it is from their house. I mean, I don't know if that's against the rules or not, bro, but I'm just like, fuck,
That's not fucking doxing, dude. That's not against the rules. I can answer your question. No, it's not. Why would that be against the rules? You can't figure out where this person... I said a 12-minute walk. That leaves thousands of houses on the table. What's the appropriate radius? 500 miles? Like, you know? All right, that was a little hyperbolic, but you get what I'm saying. I get that I'm like fully cheesing on the content cop thing, you know? Granted, someone needs to at least attempt to fill those shoes at this point, but how fucking soft is YouTube? That's like, ooh, I don't know. He's like openly letting people know that he's in the same 30-mile radius of, 12-minute walk. So, you know, whatever, 5-mile radius of this person's house. That's a little, I don't know. Like, I assume this guy was around like YouTube in the early days. That shit was the fucking Wild West. This is like so simple in comparison.
He's worse than, I mean, I don't know if it's doxing necessarily, but
it's not.
YouTube's rules aren't, you know, on what specifically is doxing. You know, they tend to be quite firm on like harassment and type policies and stuff like that, you know? And they don't give any, you know, allowance for nonces. Why is Chud defending a nonce? Yeah, classic. I know you're trying to wind me up. Very obvious, very transparent, to be honest with you. If they're 100% confirmed nonce, I don't give a fuck if they're doxed. Well done to that chatter. Yes, bro.
Was that
Who
an
cares
ironic
about
clap?
a nonce getting doxed? Let's go, bro. Yeah? Do you know what I think? You know what penicillin is? That's the cure for pedophilia. And do you know what it is? A magazine full of bullets. Yeah, man. Fire up the wood chippers. Let's go. The point is not about what you think about it. The point is, what would a prudent content organization think looking at this that's got a massive...
Yeah, absolutely. And I absolutely see what he's saying. I just don't think the logic holds. Again, like this like Katie Cruz character, for whatever reason, seems to have like undue sway with YouTube. And I don't know why exactly. But there are like, again, thousands of other instances of videos where this is clearly not breaking TOS. Wait, that's a goated comment. Hold on. Meanwhile, in Britain, you got your wood chipper license. They probably do have wood chipper licenses over there. They probably have like spoon licenses over there. You probably have to show your ID to get a spork at Taco Bell.
Is EDP still at large? Because the nonce hunters messed up their investigation. Keep that in mind when this dummy is rolling up for internet beef.
Thank you for the super chat, thank you. And of course, the easiest take to have on this stuff is to just go, you know, pedophiles are bad, wood chipper feet first, and then, like, this guy is being totally mistreated and YouTube love rape and nonsense. Like, that is the simplistic position on this. But that's obviously not really a correct position, I don't think, because on what grounds would YouTube love rape?
Okay, that's wonderful.
It's literally
How do I
antithetical.
make money off depressed people.
I didn't say they love rape. I said they supported it.
YouTube banned for covering
Different
Hey!
thing.
And the thing is, I would make a distinction. I don't think this guy is as bad in his, like, heart. Like, MamaMax was bad in his heart. Do you know what I mean by that? This guy's a...
Thank you, Chud.
I think he's had his head spun a bit by all the crazy shit that's happening. And I think he's just made some bad decisions. Like, I don't think he's like MamaMax where he's got the viciousness.
What's the
or
bad
like,
decision? What's the bad decision?
Like, he is dealing with someone that very likely is seemingly a fucking pedo. Like, fair enough. This person's legitimately a threat to children. They're a self-proclaimed map. You know, I would advocate for like the police fucking doing something about this, whatever.
They
But
haven't.
It's just, I
That's
think
the
he's made some
problem.
bad decisions. And then, in the course of making those bad decisions, he's like lashing out at YouTube in ways that I think are unreasonable.
Oh, poor YouTube. No, not YouTube. No. Oh, how will they ever recover from this abuse? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I filed a police report against Katie. And the parents filed a police report against Katie. And I'm not, you know, a lot of people blame law enforcement. I understand some nuance with law enforcement there. But regardless of who's to blame, the reality is this person is openly a ticking time bomb who is going to hurt a child. Like, I feel like that's pretty indisputable fact right now. And so far, there's been no legal recourse, no law enforcement recourse, and then free speech recourse, which is an American fucking recourse, also been shut down by YouTube. So YouTube is shutting down the last line of defense. That's why I say they support rape. And I feel like I made that clear in my video. I don't know. I feel like he has a simplistic interpretation of what I was saying in that video. It's whatever.
His intentions aren't pure clout driven. Is that what you mean, Chud? Don't get me wrong. He's benefiting from this, but the fact that he's
Yeah, of course I
going down
am.
and
But you're
speaking-
also benefiting from responding to this video. I mean, everyone is benefiting from everything all the time. Chris Hansen benefited hugely from the stuff he did. Like, I think that's really stupid to be like, yeah, he's making money off of this video. right? Like, yeah, I made some decent money off the video. I also still work a full-time job. Like, I'm not just like grifting and pretending to care about this shit. I'm a commentary YouTuber, and I'm like going to be doing more like commentary stuff. I'm not just like going full like predator poacher mode now that like this one video is like popular. I'll probably even have a pretty decent sized fall off in views pretty soon here because I'm not exclusively going to continue doing content like this. Like if there are stories that are relevant that I feel like I can contribute to along the same sort of lines as these, I absolutely will. But like I talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about on this channel. But yeah, that whole argument where it's like, oh, he's benefiting from this. Well, okay. I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to do? What world is there in which I like continue pouring hours and hours into this that like makes any sort of sense? Like fucking police officers, oh, they're only protecting people because they get a paycheck. Well, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously there are instances where it's like someone has a reputation for like helping people and that's their content, or like predator poaching or stuff like that. And then the curtain kind of gets moved back a little bit, and you're like, oh, they're just like a full-on grifter. They don't give a fuck about anybody. If it doesn't benefit the content, then they don't do anything. I just don't think that's what I've been doing. And I think you can talk to the people that I've been personally in contact with on this stuff, and I feel like they'd vouch for me. But I don't want to put that on them. If you think I'm like doing this for the wrong reasons, I mean, I don't know. That's your opinion. That's fine.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nice. I just don't see this as the same as MamaMax exactly, despite the fact there's some similarities.
Are retards in his chat saying I'm the same as MamaMax? Is that what he's pushing back against? I think people are just like full on. They're like doing the. Hold on, I want to be careful with my words because I don't want to like just reactively say something that's like overstating the case. But they're like, I think it's like he put out the MamaMax buzzword, right? And now chat is reactively being like, oh, this guy's the same. And he's like now like, okay, no, I kind of threw that out as like a rough comparison, but he's like not as bad, which is like fine. You know, I appreciate that he's like at least distinguishing. But like that's like kind of shows like how reactive people are. Is like once you kind of like the narrative is all contained within the buzzword, which is like kind of what he was saying about my video, YouTube supports rape, which it's like he was going off of like a gut reaction of what the narrative might be, which is that like there's some weird cabal in YouTube that's like Illuminati, like trying to get their rape numbers up for the year. But that's just simply not what I was saying in the video.
Some things.
The reason he's in a hometown, well, I mean, because it's good content. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. I do think he's trying to raise awareness of this person. Yes, like I don't know, man. It's difficult because there is some stuff I'm like, okay, I can see why he's doing that, but it's just. From YouTube's perspective, they probably don't want you to do that because of the risks that come with it.
I don't.
But then if he sends the person, YouTube are happy to keep the video up.
I don't give a fuck what YouTube wants me to do or not do. All right, I'm gonna abide by the TOS as stated by YouTube. All right, I'm gonna abide by what their TOS is because I'm making content on YouTube.com. Anything else, I don't care what YouTube likes or doesn't like. They couldn't have even done me the favor of having like an actual real human being have a real conversation with me and be like, hey, by the way, like we don't like this. Like all I can go by is like what they nuke and don't nuke. Like I don't really get this thing where he's hung up on like, oh wait, he should really be more sensitive towards this multi-trillion-dollar company's feelings about this. His feelings that he has to intuit on his own because they're not laid out in TOS.
Maybe this is actually okay within YouTube's TOS and they don't mind. And
it is because the video's back up.
He was showing the person's face uncensored and that was what they took issue with, or that was what's triggering some privacy complaint. The pedos blog, I can't read a pedos blog on, dude. That sounds like fucking... Dude, I don't want to get struck for this.
If he read Katie Cruz's blog, his mind might change on this situation a little bit, actually.
But I always, you know, I always hate it when people just say crazy shit about YouTube, because
why are you okay? Well, he's about to say. He just said because. All right, let's see what the because is there for.
I want to defend YouTube. No, it's because it's just like.
All right, cool. We're fucking white knighting for YouTube now.
Act like YouTube love rape. Like, what planet are you living on if you think that YouTube just love rape and love rapists and love?
Never said that.
Pedos. Like, they obviously don't. They obviously, you know, are trying to balance various different aspects of their business and thought processes.
And they're doing it very badly.
You know?
That's the point. That's the point of the video, is they're doing it very badly.
Yeah, the pick a side stuff is always very cringe, in my opinion. I don't know if it's in this video or another video, but as far as I understand it, the police have been contacted. But I'm not sure if it's one of those situations where someone has done something that's like egregious and like morally and ethically egregious, but there isn't a specific law that's been broken. Because as grotesque as it is, writing a blog about being a map is protected speech in the United States. I'm afraid to say, guys, you free speech lovers, defend that, some nonce, right?
I agree. You know what else is protected speech? You know what else is protected speech? For all you Brits in the audience, I'll give you a couple seconds to guess. Okay, I'll spoil it. Showing up to someone's hometown with a life-size picture of them and telling all of their neighbors that they're a pedophile. That's also protected speech. That's a God-given American right. That just feels self-defeating on his part. And I agree. I understand why law enforcement hasn't done anything. I talked to a police detective pretty extensively from the Shelbyville Police Department. And he said, you know what? We've been watching this person for years. They're really good at getting right up to the line and not giving us anything prosecutable. Right? That's the Shelbyville, police department. Not the whole police department, but at least someone from there who said that to me. So what recourse do you have when that's the case? You know a great recourse for that? Free fucking speech. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. And then YouTube said, no, I don't think so. And that's why I said YouTube supports rape. Because I didn't break TOS. I used American free speech, and they took it down. I made a fuss about it, and the fuss worked. I made a big fuss about it. I made a video with a very aggressive, controversial title. I think it was like the #2 most hyped video on the platform. So like the YouTube audience was overwhelmingly on my side and understood what I was saying. All of a sudden, YouTube was like, "Oh, you know what? We took a look at those videos, and no, you're good. You're all good. Didn't break any TOS." So again, any argument that he comes at me with, where he says like this person broke TOS, well, according to YouTube, I didn't. So we can throw those out.
About how much they want to nonce kids, like the First Amendment is protecting pedos as we speak.
The First Amendment is not protecting pedos. The First Amendment is just a fact of life. The First Amendment is the fact you can say anything you want. And if you openly describe your willingness to commit the worst atrocity of all mankind, were you able to do it, then I have the right to keep an eye on you and also tell other people about you. That's it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, like, I don't know if this person does sound like a freak. I think they should be investigated. I'm sure if you went and looked at the hard drive, it'd be packed full of all sorts of.
They have been. They have been investigated, and that's the point. Is they don't have anything prosecutable, so I'm investigating them in a way that just sheds light. That's purely all I was doing. Did not escalate the situation. Every time it was escalated directly as a result of something that Katie Cruz did.
If they've not broken any law explicitly, it's difficult to take it anywhere legally, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, and I tell you what is particularly annoying about this situation, right? Is because there's a pedo involved. Any big channel that talks about this is not going to want to risk even sounding like they could possibly be issuing anything that could be interpreted in any way as supporting or defending the pedo. So they will just have a very baseline cookie cutter take that is just, siding with the guy. And it's fine to side with the guy against the pedo, but siding with the guy against YouTube, I mean, this is literally the seeds of the MamaMax stuff and what happened during all the pig side stuff, is people didn't want to be seen to be siding with YouTube because they were siding with pedos.
That's incorrect, because nobody sided with MamaMax when that happened. Because it was clear that MamaMax was just spinning up literal fiction to have content for his channel, which is actively like anti-victim. Nobody was on MamaMax's side, and that's why people are on my side and they weren't on MamaMax's side, right? That's the difference, if you were wondering, right? Because like this is doing something, MamaMax's thing was actively hurting victims because it makes all the other real stories feel less believable, right? If you just constantly spin up fiction when it comes to things like this,
Like if you go back and watch all the content from around that time, it's mind-boggling just how many people were like, not willing to say, yeah, this is fucking stupid. YouTube did not like pedophiles. Like, be fucking reasonable. It was all just like, no, YouTube's really bad actually. And I don't know what's going to happen here. This is all quite fresh. I don't know if people are going to make videos about this, but it's like, just be Like, you know YouTube, you know that they don't support rape, you know they don't support pedo shit, you know that there's obviously other reasons that they're doing this. But I guess we'll see.
No, they don't give a fuck, and that's the same as supporting, is kind of my point. And again, like, you know, if they were honest, I could have a more reasonable take, which is like, oh, it's some, like, this entire thing was completely AI handled, or handled by some sort of automated system, and that's why my videos kept getting taken down. But I'm taking YouTube at their word, which is that they have an actual moderation team. And in fact, to be fair, I did speak to an actual human at one point over email. I spoke to a YouTube rep about, you know, my appeals and stuff. And he was like, yeah, man, like, we could just, at this point, we just got to let the appeals do what they do. You know, I want you to know I'm on your side, and like, thumbs up. Hopefully it works out. And the appeals got rejected. So yeah, I did talk to a real human. I'm sure everything else was like automated and AI run, but at one point I talked to a real human, and he was just like so low down in the command that he was just like, yeah, hopefully it goes good, man. Like, hopefully that works out. Hopefully the AI bot, who is of a higher pay grade than me, like, rules in your favor. I'm rooting for you. I was like, thanks, YouTube rep. Appreciate that. Right? So that is a system which supports this, right? Again, entire point of the video.
How do you know? Because a multi fucking $1 billion conglomerate company, right? If there was any sign or hint or idea that they were supportive of pedophilia, it would be terrible. Like, from a purely pragmatic perspective, you could say that YouTube would not support that, because it would be terrible for business. Beyond that.
Yeah, and that's exactly correct. And that's why they rejected all of my appeals until the YouTube supports rape video went viral. And guess what? Now the videos are A-okay and monetizable. He's kind of making, we're kind of coming from opposite ends of the basic premise that YouTube will just do whatever they want for their monetary bottom line. And I'm saying that they did that in a way that, like, victims were caught in the crosshair. And he's just saying, well, you can't blame them for victims getting caught in the crosshair because they're just trying to maximize revenue, right? Like, we're just kind of, we're kind of like ships in the night a little bit in our premise, in our arguments here.
I think that, yeah, YouTube is not going to risk their status and financial report for one alleged trans pedo freak. Exactly. So it's just always the same, where you just have these kind of baseless allegations that they love pedos, when it's very likely the decision they're making is influenced by some other concern, some other reasonable concern. I'm going to be honest, the Sly Boy guy seems to be handling this whole thing like a goddamn clown show. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, a clown?
Someone said I was being too nice earlier.
All right, first of all,
right?
British insults backfire, because that sounds so stupid. Like a clown show?
I'm going to be honest, the Sly Boy guy seems to be handling this whole thing like a goddamn clown show. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm trying to be, someone said I was being too nice earlier, right? I'm just trying to find the right balanced take on this, because I don't think Sly Boy is like a terrible person like MamaMax was.
Thanks,
MamaMax
man.
was legitimately an awful, terrible human being, okay? I don't think this guy's got the same issue, but he's just making...
God bless. Not a terrible person, baby. Chud Logic co-signing Sly Boy as not a terrible person? All right. Well, now I can put that on my resume.
Acting like YouTube love rapists and shit. And I don't know, it's like, just chill out. Like, chill. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking chill, bro. Just fucking...
This is fucking YouTube, man. I feel like what I actually had to say in that video was a genuine payoff to what was being claimed in the title. Again, it's just a basic, to me, it's just a basic difference of opinion, where he feels like the title YouTube supports rape needs to mean that there's, like, again, like a cabal of shadowy figures in YouTube who are trying to, like, produce the highest number of rapes possible. And I'm just saying, functionally, there's a system here which is supporting predators more than it supports people who would attempt to expose them, and in fact actively disincentivizes exposing predators. That's ultimately the lynch point here.
Take a step back from the precipice and just think a little bit about what's going on here, you know. And I think the other problem too is people are not going to be honest with him. I think they're just going to, you know, when you got a big, because you're going to have a big YouTuber talking about it, and they're going to be like, yeah, this is terrible, YouTuber awful, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's just going to, like, boost this. No one's going to be there to say, like with MamaMax, no one's going to be there to say, yeah, you're fucking acting nuts over this, man. Like, of course YouTube are taking the video down. Look at what you...
Except that's not true because everyone said that. Everybody said that, including me, by the way. I made a video about MamaMax at the time. Really fucking funny video, too. I had a blast because it was so preposterous what he was saying. And that's the point, is like other YouTubers held them accountable. Like, that's clearly not what's going on in my case.
To the police, sure, but like nothing's happened. Like, I've got some sympathy for the idea that nothing is happening about this person, but obviously going to the town with a big picture of them isn't going to do anything or help anything. You know, obviously it's about the content.
Fact check, wrong. Fact check, untrue. Over 10% of the entire town has now seen that video. As I said before, people were messaging me saying, hey, we like actively avoided this house on Halloween because of your video with our kids, which is relevant in a town that size because there's not that many houses to trick or treat at. And again, just in case this is clipped, did not dox Katie Cruz. People found out where the house was on their own because it's a very small town.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's yeah. Obviously, I just don't think he's the same as Max. Even though I don't know what the take is, bro. I don't know what the fucking take is, bro. I think that MamaMax is worse. But
How are you saying in the middle of the video you don't know what the take is when the title of the video is "This guy is the new MamaMax"?
He's getting into it. Yeah, but what is the end goal? This is the thing with this. It's like I'm very jaded, sure, but I just find these kind of campaigns and crusades. It's like what could come at the end of it exactly.
I mean, just literally talk to anyone from Shelbyville, Indiana. I've gotten so many messages. That's what came at the end of it. That was exactly the end goal.
But it's a bit like the Batman and Joker, right? In that he's Batman and he's in this never-ending war against the Joker.
I'll take that. All right, I'll take that. All right. Maybe I should just end stream there.